Hi, class. I went through the discussion posts. There were a lot of good posts to week one. I looked at, in particular, I was looking at your reaction to the class. And by the way, the reactions were pretty positive, so I'm glad to see that a lot of you were excited about the format and what we're doing. There were a lot of questions, so I pulled the questions, put them in a Word document, and I'm going to kind of talk you through that and see if this is helpful. They're in just a random order here, and I tried not to repeat. So the first question: will fellow students be motivated to participate in the discussions? Well, we'll see how that works out. I really hope that they are, because there's really a lot of benefit to participating in the discussions, and it's an important part of the class. Is 40% of the grade, so we'll just have to see how that works out. What expectations are there to the frequency for posting? And once again, you do your primary post, and then you need a minimum of 5 substantive comments to others in the discussion, and you post those on at least 2 different days. So that's expectations. Our discussion posts the majority of the course, or will there be a lot more homework assignments? Well, what you will see starting on Tuesday with Module 2, which is the first module with the text, you'll see there's more reading to do. And so there's going to be, technically, there's going to be more homework. You're going to have more reading. You have to solve the challenges in order to prepare your discussion posts. So once again, the discussions are 40%. Are we penalized for taking the quiz more than once? For example, is there a percentage deducted for taking it more than once? And the answer to that is no. You're allowed 2 attempts. There's no penalty. The highest score will be your grade. What is the structure for the quizzes, and how do we prepare for them? Well, the quizzes will focus on course content presented in the module, and you always know it's limited to that content for that module. And really the best way to prepare is to read the content and take the practice quiz 3 times. I also think preparing your discussion post is helpful because you have to use the content. Participating in the discussion, same way, you have to use this content. So the more you use it, the more prepared you're going to be. How many modules are there? Well, there's 7. There's the Start Here module, which you're doing right now. And then there's the course, the chapters in the text. So we have Fundamentals of Organizational Behavior, Groups and Team Dynamics, Human Resource Management, Decision Making, Motivation, and Leadership. These are all important, really important topics to be a leader in an organization. What are the differences between this course and Management 3000, and does it cover supply chain as well? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with Management 3000 yet, so I can't really make a good comparison between the two. I can tell you this course does not cover supply chain, but it will focus on organizational behavior critical for leaders in the organization, which I just covered the topics. How does the grading work? Well, you can see once again, discussions are 40%, quizzes are 30%, and the final exam's 30%. So that's how grading is going to work. Practice quizzes are not graded. Where will the text be posted? Well, it will be integrated into Canvas, 1 chapter at a time with each module. And each chapter is broken into segments, and this is helpful to you in solving the challenges, because you'll know for a challenge that the segment, the content segment of the chapter will be used for that challenge. So it makes it a lot easier for you. So on Tuesday, when the fun module comes up, you will see the text. And then after that, it's the same format every week, so you'll be good to go after that. You'll understand. Are the quizzes constructed from videos, materials, and group discussions? It's primarily from the content in the text, and any videos or anything else that is presented along with that. So they will focus. They'll always focus on the content presented in the module. I think taking the practice quizzes 3 times helps to prepare you. What behavior will set young professionals up for success when starting a new position after graduation? I think being able to lead, motivate, participate in a team, being prepared for behavioral interview questions, or this whole course was designed to set you up for success after graduation. And not only that, we've received feedback from past students that it was successful in doing that. Is there a minimum maximum length for discussion interactions? Says my answer, I think, would be no if the response is meaningful and valuable, and that's a good answer. We're looking for substantive posts and not a word count. Are exams similar to discussion topics, or are there clear, definitive answers to each question? There's only one exam, that's in week 8, and it's based upon the 6 content modules. There will be definitive answers to each question. The questions will be like the module quiz questions, so you should be prepared. In other words, it's going to draw from the same bank of questions. Question I have is how much information I will learn from the discussion boards from my classmates. I think you will learn the content from the reading and participating in the discussions. The discussion with your classmates allows a greater focus on application, so you learn how to apply the theories and models, and that's really important. What should be the length of comments in discussion? They simply need to be substantive, so that you're adding to the discussion in some way, or you're stimulating a response, or make it meaningful. Just by, if you state something like, hey, I agree, that's not substantive. How will material we cover help us in the real world when managing a real problem? Well, by focusing on the core content for organizational theories and behavior, we can focus on application in the discussions, and you will end the course retaining applied knowledge. That's the goal. And that's this approach is much better than if you had, say, 26 chapters coming at you in 8 weeks. How will the discussions help us on the quizzes and exams, and what will be covered on the exams? Well, you have to work with the module content to complete the discussion question. So that's helpful. It'll help you to retain the information in the content. I still think the practice quizzes will be big. Also, as you discuss with others in your group, you're covering the content, so your retention will be higher. How's the conference number format for office hours different from the normal office hour format? Well, traditionally I would have office hours on campus in the business administration building, and you would come there to see me during those hours. But since this is an online class, I will post this conference number where you can simply call any time at your convenience during the hour, so usually it's a 2-hour period, and join the discussion. And also, you can get a hold of me through email, or you can arrange for a phone call where we're one-on-one. My intention is to be available as much as you need me. I'm not on campus, and that's one reason why we're doing it this way. Next question, will the professor be available to meet outside of class in person if any help is needed? And in general, the answer is going to be no. I'll be available on the conference line by cell phone or appointment. I'm not on campus very often. If I was there, I would make myself available, but I'm just not there. All right, one question I have would be, is it going to be successful learning these skills online rather than in a classroom setting? That's a really good question. In my experience, I think the online learning environment grows on you. And the more time you spend in it, the more efficient you get in learning online. I find I learn as much from online classes as I do with real classes. And not only that, I like the fact that I can manage my own time. So I take a lot of online classes. I still focus on development. Every year I take, 3 or 4 classes online, and I really get a lot out of it. But it is personal, so you have to see what your experience is if you're new to online. I would also say if you're new to online, give it a chance because it kind of grows on you. It says, all right, many of my friends have taken the course and say it's difficult because of lack of explanation and clarity on the instructor's part. How will your course be different? Well, this is my first semester with this course, and I'm in collaboration with Dr. Katie, and we've done a lot of prep to get to where we are right now. So I'd like to think that it's much improved from the past, and we are both working to add clarity all the time. And just like with this announcement that I'm posting. So I'll be interested in seeing what you think at the end. All right, would it be possible to release a chapter content for each week on Mondays instead of Tuesdays? Well, the answer is it is possible. It's not the design. The design is this adaptive release, so it comes out on Tuesday. I might consider it, just have to see it how it goes. I know from the past it's been reported that it created confusion having 2 modules open at the same time. And I checked before doing this video, I checked, and the majority of the class will be doing the quiz tomorrow. So if I open this to module 2 tomorrow, then I'd have 2 modules open at the same time. So I'm going to wait and see. How often will we need to work on class materials? And I think it will require several days a week. You're in the accelerated version of the course, so more time each week's going to be required. The module opens on Tuesday, so you can start reading, doing practice quizzes. By Wednesday, you want to start putting your discussion post together and getting it posted, and then you're going to be in participating in the discussions, and then take your module quiz. So if you think about it, you're almost going to have to do something just about every day. What other topics, questions are going to be included in these group discussions? Well, in week 1, we established a format. And so each week following, beginning Tuesday, we'll follow this format. The difference is you'll be using content from the text. And so each week there'll be new content, and that's what you'll do your discussions on. What information are we going to learn without having a book? You do have a book. We did not present the book to you in week 1, so the book is coming on Tuesday, and it will come with the fundamentals chapter first. It's integrated into Canvas, so simple. You'll just click on it and start reading. Why is this class only offered online and not in person, or no in-person options available? It is offered on campus in a classroom periodically, just was not this semester. And so why, I don't know why. I understand that we are put into groups on Canvas, but are we graded as individuals or groups? This is always a concern. Most students want to be graded as individuals, so that's the way this is set up. There are no grades based on group work, so you'll be graded as individuals, although I do think that your ability to work with others in the group does make a difference in the quality of your learning. Why is money harmful in these situations? And this comment refers to the Daniel Pink video. This is a good question, because what Pink is saying is counterintuitive to some degree. But money is a good incentive for some individuals, and for all individuals to a point, and then it's no longer a motivator. Now, in my experience, especially, and I've done most of my consulting work and internal work was done in the automotive industry and manufacturing. And I found that people on the assembly line jobs, or jobs that were basically labor jobs, more of them had a tendency to be motivated by money. But as you start to move up into leadership positions, then I think threshold theory kicks in. And what threshold theory is that a person has a psychological threshold of where their income should be. And when they're above that, they're no longer motivated by money. But if they fall below that threshold, then they'd be highly motivated by money. For example, if for, say, a factory closed and suddenly they lost their job unexpectedly, now they're highly motivated by money. They're going to be willing to do anything to get their income back up to that threshold. But once above the threshold, yeah, the extra money's nice, but it's not a big motivator. So what's more motivating then is the meaningfulness of work and the value of what you do. And that I think is part of the essence of Pink's message. It says, I know that we are posing our own exam questions at the end of this assignment. Well, you are writing an exam question in your primary post each week. These questions may eventually be, some of them may be used, integrated into the question pool, but they will not be used during this course. We simply don't have time to do that. So the question pool already exists. I'm wondering how will all this be connected to getting our dream job? Well, what we believe is if you are able to integrate the fundamental skills into your behavior and you're well prepared to answer the behavioral interview questions, that gives you your best shot at getting your dream job. And so what you want to do is work on integrating concepts of the course into your behavior and having good answers to the behavioral interview questions. How will I transmit online opposed to being in a physical classroom because I feel I'm more effective in person? My answer is to be true to myself and my answers, and most likely my writing can give the class a glimpse of the person I am. That's a good answer. So your thinking is good. I think in your group discussions is where you're going to be best able to transmit who you are and form relationships. How will this class help guide me on my path to a successful career? Well, the behaviors in this class are what managers need to be effective in organizations. Integrating the theories and principles into your behavior will prepare you for a leadership role. Now, that just wasn't a random guess. There was a lot of work that went into determining that. There was, 14, 15 of the top leading texts were analyzed for core content, what seemed to be supplemental content. There were other academics and educators, especially within the state of Ohio, that contributed to what's considered the core modules. So there was a lot of effort to create the core modules that will help you be successful. What is the expected objective to gain throughout this course? Well, number one, you want to be prepared for a job interview. You want to present yourself as a leader, and you want to integrate the fundamental behaviors and principles of leader into your beliefs and behavior. If you do that, you're good to go. What if I don't understand the concept and having a hard time trying to figure out? Then what you want to do, call in during the office hours or contact me through Canvas to talk one-on-one, and I'll be glad to help you. I will say on the first office hours I did, I had a lot of time with no interaction, so there was ample time. If you called in, you could have had probably as much time as you wanted, and I had a 2-hour window, and repeating it on Tuesday from 4:30 to 6:30, doing it again. So you can mark that down. Where's the link for the free online textbook? Comes up Tuesday in Module 2, you'll get your first chapter of the text, and it's built into Canvas. So it's very simple. You make a click, and suddenly you're reading the text. Will we learn most of the material through discussion in this group, or will we develop questions, find answers through the text readings each week? You will read the course content first and prepare your discussion question that you post. It'll be based on the course content. And then finally, you participate with others in the discussion. And by doing both, it provides a richer learning experience and contributes to your retention. And I might say clarity of content as well. Am I going to learn what leadership style to use dependent on the level of maturity of the employee? And the answer is yes. In the leadership module, you'll take a leadership assessment that focuses on transactional leadership based upon the situation. I think that's the best area of focus. Research today shows that transactional leadership is the primary activity in the organization until you hit executive levels. They still use it, but then they start to shift into transformational. So you will take an assessment in the leadership module. Is there anything in place of the midterm exam? And the answer is no. Midterm was cut. The final exam covers all 6 content modules and is 30% of your grade. In the long version of this course, in other words, if you were doing the 16-week version of this course, that content would have been split between the midterm and the final. Same content. So you're covering the same thing. It's just you're in the accelerated version, so you're going to do it all in the final. And that might be a good thing because you'll have the final week to do that. It says, I assume there will be an outline and guide of how the group work will be used and layout. And yes, you were presented that in week 1, so I'm not sure what else you're expecting there. This will be the format each week. Each week you'll see an outline and a guide of what to do. We did that for clarity, so you don't have to guess. Each week it'll say do this, and it'll be laid out the same way, and there'll be an overview video as well, too. So every week there'll be an overview video. I'll talk you through, here's what you're supposed to do. And not only that, it'll be a picture of the classroom as I'm doing the talk. What changes in the content? What changes each week is the content. Whereas the format's the same, the content's different. And there will be content challenges that focus on application. So the whole course is set up to focus on application and prepare you. So I thought your posts, it looked like there was people putting some effort in these posts, and I was pleased to see that. Also pleased to see your comments and my reaction to the class, and these were your questions of what you were wondering about, and so I wanted to give you some answers on that. And so the next thing that'll happen is you'll do your quiz tomorrow, and then on Tuesday you'll see Module 2 comes up. You'll get the text, and you'll start working on the challenges. So also I'll have office hours on Tuesday from 4:30 to 6:30, so you can look for that. I'll post it on the number to call. Thanks.